Hello, class, and welcome. This is part 1 of the Unit 1 test review. The first question that I have on here is to solve the linear equation and check your solutions. So we have 2x minus 1 divided by 3 is equal to 2 minus x plus 5 divided by 7. We are going to first multiply by the least common denominator between 3 and 7. It's going to be 21. So we are going to multiply everything here by 21. All 3 of these. So 21 divided by 3, this would be 7 times 2x minus 1 is equal to 2 times 21, which is 42, minus 21 divided by 7, this would be 3 times x plus 5. Distributing on the left and right sides, this would be 14x minus 7 is equal to 42 minus 3x minus 15 due to the negative. We could combine the 42 and the negative 15 on the right-hand side. So 14x minus 7 is equal to 27 minus 3x. So now we can add 3x to both sides. And that becomes, let me write it here to the right, just so I have more room. 17x minus 7 is equal to 27. You can now add 7 to both sides. 17x is equal to 34. Dividing by 17 will give us our answer of, in this case, 2. And we could check that solution if we wanted to. Left-hand side, this would be 2 times 2 minus 1 over 3. So 4 minus 1 divided by 3, this is supposed to give us 1. So right-hand side, 2 minus 2 plus 5 over 7. 2 plus 5 divided by 7. This makes 7 over 7, or 1. 2 minus 1 is also 1. So this does check out. The second problem. In a triangle, the measures of the 3 angles are x, x plus 3, and x plus 30. We want the measurement of each angle. So we're going to add them up since the sum is supposed to be 180. X plus 3 plus x plus 30. This to make 180. Adding these like terms, we have 3x plus 33 equals 180. We can subtract by 33 from both sides. And this gives us 3x is equal to 147. And then the last part, this will be dividing by 3 on both sides. In this case, x, the smallest angle, is going to be 49. So 49 degrees is the smallest. The next one is x plus 3, so we add 3 to this. We'll get 52 degrees. And add 30 to 49 for the third one. This is going to be 79 degrees for our 3 angle measurements. For question 3, we have the bus fare in a city is $2.05. People who use the bus have the option of purchasing a monthly discount pass for $12. With the discount pass, the fare is reduced to 85 cents. When the number of times in a month the bus must be used so that the total monthly cost without the discount pass is the same as the total monthly cost with the discount pass. So x is going to be the number of bus rides. This would be $2.05 times x is equal to 85 cents times x plus 12. So we could subtract by that 0.85x. And we are left with $1.20 times x is equal to 12. So dividing by the $1.20, x here would be equal to 10 bus rides. And in this case, it makes sense because we would get $20.50 on either side. For number 4, after an 80% price reduction, you purchase a new waffle iron for $8. What is the waffle iron's price before the reduction? So X will be our original price. We take the original price, subtract the 80% of that original price to get $8. So combining the like terms here on the left, we would get 0.20 times x is equal to 8. Dividing by that 0.20, dividing by 0.20 and making it readable at the same time, would give us an original price of $40. For the 5th one, the selling price of a refrigerator is $584. And for this, if the markup is 25% of the dealer's cost, we want to know what the dealer's cost is of this refrigerator. So for this, we are going to have here x here to be this dealer's cost. Dealer's cost. So this is going to be x plus 25% of x is equal to 584. Combining the left-hand side, we get 1.25 times x is equal to 584 divided by 1.25. We get that dealer's cost to be x is equal to $467.20. And for question number 6, solving a is equal to 1/2 times b sub 1 plus b sub 2 times h for b sub 1. We're going to multiply both sides here by 2. So 2a is equal to, this is b sub 1 plus b sub 2 times h. We could divide by h. This would give us 2a over h is equal to b sub 1 plus b sub 2. And then finally subtracting by b sub 2 will solve this. We would get b sub 1 is 2a over h minus b sub 2. So that's part 1 of this Unit 1 test review. Be on the lookout for part 2. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you.